Alright, welcome back to the channel. So the corn is done running. You can see it's all dropped in there, and so this is what we got. I have 10 pounds of corn. I did this, boiled 10 pounds of corn, put 7 pounds of sugar in there, and we're going to go ahead and see how we did with this. I don't know, I'm hoping it comes out good. We're going to run the keg still with the column. It's a little chilly to be trying to run that thumper. I'm afraid the thumper it'll just, everything will condense in the thumper and never keep going over. I could be wrong, but that's just what we're going to do today. So I'm going to go ahead and run the column still with the corn. All right, let me get this. Well, I can go ahead and start pouring this in here. Here, let's pick this up. See if we can do this without making too big of a mess. Smells like alcohol. And before we get too further, get most of the nice green liquid out before we get to the. Let me forgot to put my screen on there. Let me get this on there. All right. Put this in there. I don't know how those guys run those big submarine stills you see. They just mix it. Nope. Yeah, that plugged right up. There we go. Okay. Mix it all in the still and then run it. You gotta really run that slow, I would imagine. Ooh, that's thick. You got a lot of goop right there. The corn settled quite a bit in there. Let me pause you guys. All right, I got the one in. I'm letting it drain in here. Man, that was soupy at the bottom. Maybe time to replace I got another one in there. Backup, I may have to break that out. So I got the first one in, but I think I'm gonna let that, it's trickling in there. I may let it drain just for an hour or so and see how much I get in there. And then I'll pour in the next one. But that's where we are right now. We got the first jar in, our first carboy in there, 7 gallons, which probably worked out to 5 gallons in the keg. But all right, let me pause you guys. All right, so I got the other one in. That's about how much came out of the bottom of that. It stopped straining, so let's go ahead and put this one in. See if I can pick this thing up. I wanted to mention, I thought I had bought these straining bags at the hardware store. I thought they were just paint strainer bags I've seen down there, but apparently I pulled the second one out and it's some sort of mesh straining bag, it says. I don't know what, I think I bought it off some site for distilling. Can't remember where I purchased it from, honestly. So it's not what I thought it was, but I would imagine those, unless there's some sort of chemical in those paint strainers, they look like the same bag. I'll have to look into it and see on that. So that went right in. Kind of nice using a new bag. That other one, yeah, you could definitely see it was getting some, you can get holes, but you could see the threads separating on the bag, so it was getting worn. All right, this in. You will be able to get this whole one in, because this one I really didn't have much corn in there. The other one. There we go. But that is a chowder, isn't it? All right. There we go. Now we'll let that sit and rinse these out. So let's give it a few minutes and then we'll come back. All right, I got everything poured in here. This is gonna be I'm gonna heat this up slowly because I definitely don't want to scorch it. There was a lot of, I don't know what I'd call it, chowder, but in there. So if that's off, let's turn the propane on. Let's see if we can do this slowly. There we go. All right. Some heat on that, and let's let that cook. I got no way to, I guess I could find a little stick and get it in there and stir. And it looks like it's probably right at that rib on there. That's where we're filled up. All right, let's let that cook a little bit. All right, well, we got some time. I thought I'd show you this. So this was a mixture. I did a video on this earlier. It's 500, let me get the recipe here. So it's 50 milliliters hydrogen peroxide, 500 milliliters of water, and 1 ounce of citric acid. So I just multiplied that 5 times and got, I don't know, a gallon here. But let me show you. I just put this in a minute ago. You guys see the difference already? That's cleaned up. So I had done a video and cleaned my copper still, but I forgot to clean all my column still stuff. So since we got time to let this heat up, I figured, well, let's go ahead and give this a rinse. See what it does. See if I can clean it up fairly quick, which it does. You can see it's already, just without even me scrubbing it, gives it a good clean on here. And that, like I say, is 50 milliliters hydrogen peroxide to 1 ounce of citric acid, which is 2 tablespoons is 1 ounce, and then 500 milliliters of water is the mixture on that, and it's already starting to clean right up. So that's what I'm doing here. I thought I'd show you this real quick. There is me, like I say, a video cleaning the column still with this. It was called, I had found it on the internet, it was called 551 recipe. It's just what it was labeled. So It's not my recipe, I found it on the internet, but it works really good. It cleans up without even scrubbing or anything. I'm gonna run a bottle, I got a bottle brush, I'm gonna run a bottle brush through this on there to get the inside, because I definitely forgot to clean this and it was a little dark on the inside, and I'd really like to clean it since I got time. So just wanted to show you that. All right, let me pause you. All right, so I gave it a quick wipe down, but I just wanted to show you just quick cleaning what it does. So it does clean it up. Inside I hit it with a bottle brush. I got at least this 2-inch pipe. Hit that, so that's about as good. The outside looked better than the inside, honestly. But it is cleaner. It would take a little bit longer to really get it bright and clean, but this will do for now. This is starting to get warm, so let me rinse this off real good and then we'll put this together on that. But just wanted to show you that little trick. All right, welcome back. I am it's just starting to drip. Let me show you. Let me turn you around here and swapped around. All right, so we're getting just a drip here and there, but it's only at about 150 degrees on that focus. So we're getting close. It's coming up pretty quick. But you can tell, so I got this long piece of pipe here. That's the only one I didn't clean, but you can see the copper. I was able to clean that up a little bit. You can tell the difference on that. And that wasn't even scrubbing it. It was just soaking it for a few minutes, and it cleans it up pretty good. So, but we're getting close here on that. We're just starting to get the methanol there. So definitely don't want to drink that stuff. And it has a smell of nail polish remover on there. So, but we're getting close. Hang on. All right, well, that didn't take but a minute or two, but we're about up to 175, so we're still collecting the methanol on that. But let me turn this down a little bit since it's up to temperature, and let's turn that down. All right, just that. And let's see here. So yeah, we're at probably 175 right there, 80 Celsius. But let's see, can I turn you around and show you that? So it's dripping pretty good. So we'll collect the 4 shots and all the bad stuff, the poison right there, and then we'll switch that out in a little bit. So hang on. All right, we're about 200 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and swap this out. Let's see. Definitely does not smell like nail polish remover. I think we got the good stuff coming in now, so let's swap that out. That'll be jar number 1. We'll go from there. All right. Go, and then we'll have to proof that when we get a full jar, but I've got it turned down. We'll see what it does here. But it's coming out a pretty good stream. All right. All right, we're coming to jar 1. Let's swap this out and then there's jar 1. Mark that as jar 1, and where is here we go. Proofer. That's kind of cool. I'll tell you what. Let's see what the thing is, because you guys get on me for not reading the temperature, and I have yet to print out that thing. There's a sheet for the when you proof it. So this is, let's see what this is. So this is about 77 degrees coming out. So I would have thought it would have been cooler, but there you go. That answers that question. Now I'll have to look up. Let me get a funnel here. Let's pour this in and let's see what this proofs at. And I will work on getting a sheet that tells me the correct proof for that temperature. But right now we are coming out at 130. And let's see if I can bring it over to you guys. You guys want to see that? Oops, stop spinning. See if I can get you in focus here. I don't know why I'm trying this, because it's not focusing, but anyway, it's coming out. First jar came out at 130. And that's where we are right now. All right, let me go ahead and pour this back in. Jar one of the corn is 130. You guys want to see what? So that's what the bubbles look like at 130. Well, or whatever the temperature is. So, actually, the wrong lid on here. Let me pause you guys. Alright, we're coming up on almost another jar 2, but I wanted to show you the temperature. The thermostat, I turned it down a little bit more. Let me. And so we're about 196, 7, somewhere in there, 195 on there. So just wanted to show you that. And then here's jar 2. Let me get you set up on the tripod so I can put this back together. Hang on. Okay, so I got you on the tripod. Let's squeeze back around here. And I went and looked up one of the calculators on that. So it's coming out at 77 degrees, like the first jar, and at 130 it is at it says, so it's actually minus 1.5 proof, so it's coming out at 128.5. Let's see, what's the temperature of this? Let's get this real quick. Well, this is coming out a little cooler, so it's actually about 66, 67 degrees, so we're pretty close there on that. I had a thing of ice. I didn't make any ice because it was fairly cool out, but the water did heat up a little bit. So let's see what we got. Let's change this jar out. And let's see what jar 2 came out as. But yeah, I thought by some of the people that were commenting, I thought I was like way off on that, but I'm only off by just a smidgen. And looks like this jar is about 10, so 120 proof. So we lost about 10 proof there on that, and that's where we're at on that. All right, until the next jar. All right, we're about to hit jar 3. I figured I'd show you and get you turned around. And I haven't adjusted the temperature, so it's climbed up a little bit there on that. I guess I could turn it down. But let me get you where we are at jar 3. Let me pause you. All right, let's get in here. And now let's swap the jars out first. Since we're almost full. Let's see what this temperature is. Let's see. We are 69, still going up, 70, 72. Should probably check my water. Because I cooled it down, the water, and it's gone back up. So it looks like it's about 75 degrees on that. So still pretty close. And let's see where we're coming out as. Oops, don't fill that up too much. I'd bring you guys over to look at it. It's hard to get that darn camera to focus on that. Let's see. We are about 110, yeah. Come on, circle back around. You can tell it wants to butt up against the thing, so about 110 is where we're at. So that's jar 3. All right, go ahead and get another jar going here. All right, we are back for another jar. This is jar 4. Swap this out. See what this is. I like this long setup. And it tends to wiggle a little bit though when it's been on the pump, but it's nice to have it away from the flame. What am I doing here? Oh yeah. Let me check the temperature. I changed the water out a little bit, put some cooler water in it because I didn't have any ice. I should know better made ice. I was thinking, it's going to be cooler anyway. No big deal, but yeah, got to make ice every time. And we are hanging at 69 degrees, it looks like. Okay. So we're not too bad. That brought it, filled that right up, didn't I? And we are at, if I could read, still at 110, so that one, maybe 108. It's a little light, but it's in that range. All right, go ahead and pause it. We got the other one. We're still running at about 200, so temperature's at 200. I'm afraid to turn it down anymore. I think it'd really just slow it down. We're getting to that point. All right, let me pause you. All right. Oh, I didn't get a jar. Sorry, I'm out of the picture. Let me grab a jar. I got to open a new box. Oh, no, I don't. I got this one open. All right, give me a minute. All right, now. This is the wrong size. Sorry about that. Nothing like being prepared here. There we go. Now I got a jar. Sorry about that, guys. But this is jar 5. And it's definitely slowing up. I've been checking. When you start getting to the tails, you can start to see the oils dripping in on that, and I haven't seen that yet. So let's go ahead and measure this. See what we're coming out as. Temperature, it feels pretty cool still, but this is probably going to be our last jar. Where are we at? Starting to get dark. We're at about 100 proof, so yeah, and it's slowing down. I don't want to turn up the heat or anything. It's still at about 200. So I think jar 6 will be my last one, and yeah, I think I'm going to order another. I really liked my last big batch. I had ordered a 10-liter barrel, and it should be ready in a month. For 10 liters, it recommends 4 months, but I've been tasting it every month, and it really smooths it out. I'm really surprised how good. I'm no longer going to drink this out of a still. I'm going to put it in the barrel because it really smooths it out and makes it taste a lot better. It's amazing the difference on that. But let me go ahead and wrap this one up. Jar 5, 100 proof. All right, and this will take a little longer. Let me pause you guys for the last jar. All right, this is the last jar. It's starting to come out a little foggy. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but this one definitely is not clear. Let's see what the proof is. Went ahead and turned off the gas. Let's see what this last jar came out. So yeah, we are definitely in the tails at the moment. And this came out, gotta get into the light. Can't see over here. So it's 80 proof. Came out 80 proof there for the last jar. That's pretty good. The last jar, even though it's foggy. I was looking for oils and stuff. I didn't see a lot of oils dripping in there, but it did, like I say, foggy. Thank you for watching. Pay attention. I'm going to order a barrel, like I say, for this. For the hearts anyway. On that, please subscribe. Keep subscribing and hit the thumbs up on it so I can keep producing these things on that. All right. Thank you.